Hey everyone, it's Lori. I wanted to do a little video today on the new laws that are going to be coming in play in the HVAC department, and maybe I'm going to educate some of the contractors out there on this because I just found out about everything. I knew things were changing, but I didn't know they were going to happen as soon as they are. So I found out about it in August, and maybe some of your salespeople have not told you the new laws coming into play, in our area. But anyway, what's going to be happening? They're going to actually cut out the 80% furnaces from the Mason-Dixie line up, which I've got a map of that, and that kind of shows you in the green. Those are the areas where 90% furnaces are the only thing that's going to be able to be installed, besides air handlers. And the rest of us are going to be able to have 80s and 90s. So here in Kentucky, we'll be able to keep 80%ers and 90%ers. And then, but as far as from the Mason-Dixie line up, they're going to cut out the 80%ers. Now, the only, and that's actually, coming into play, that is from the DOE, which is the Department of Energy. They're changing, this is where all the Energy Star rating and energy efficient and all that kind of stuff is coming into play. And I mean, what I see it as being, it's more of a cost to the consumer, and us being in a recession, I think it's kind of the worst time that the government could have done something like this. And it actually is coming into play 18 months sooner than what we anticipated it coming into play. So, but what that means is if you live in Indiana, which my mom does, she's got a furnace that's 17 years old, so it looks like I'm going to get it replaced before May 1st of 2013, because that's when you will not be allowed to install an 80% furnace in the state of Indiana and in any of these places, any of these states that are in the green. So you're looking at a different kind of piping is actually where it comes in, into play, because on an 80%er it's piped out or vented out with the metal vent, the sheet metal, galvanized, and then with a 90% furnace it has to be PVC vented, and so you're looking at a different way of routing it out. And then if it's in an unconditioned area, I'm just afraid of, complications of it being, if we have an extremely cold winter, then I see that being a problem, because that could freeze it up and then you're not going to have any heat. So I don't agree with what's going on. So I think the government should have kind of looked at things a whole lot more before they did this, but too late, that's the way it is. But anyway, I've actually got the letter too, also, coming from, where the law's coming into play, and I'm going to read this to you, but, some of it, but that's what, in the yellow, that's what, the dates are. So, because also, the air conditioning and heat pumps are going to change the efficiencies on that. They're going to make us, go to higher SEER on that. And it was probably just 5 years ago when they mandated the 13 SEER, and now we're getting bumped up to, over here in Kentucky, it's going to be 14 SEER AC and 14 SEER heat pump. Over in Indiana, it's going to be 13 SEER AC and 14 SEER heat pump. So, and that's coming into play January 1st, 2015. So we've got one more summer where if you've got, and I see this being a problem with the R22 systems, the dry units, that they came out with, which I don't agree with that. As a consumer standpoint, I agree with it, but on the HVAC side, I don't agree with it. But anyway, what I'm talking about is the dry units, where if you've had a unit stolen or your outside unit is bad and you've got a fairly new coil, we've been able to put a dry unit with it and charge it up with R22, and then you have a complete system. The new refrigerant, which they've had out for, gosh, probably 20 years, it's known as Puron and 410A. But anyway, they've cut down, R22s stopped being made, and so we're going to 410A, and have been. But as far as I don't even know what I'm saying. We're going to have to cut this part out. But anyway, all those laws are coming into play, and we're going to have to go to the higher SEER, and I kind of understand it on an energy efficient standpoint, but I mean, we're just in a bad time, you know, with the economy, and I mean, I just think they, you know, are putting too much on us, because they're also changing the wall of the Armaflex. The line sets are coming into play, which I've seen them. They're humongous, so if you have to replace a line set, the hole you're going to have to drill in the side of the house, I mean, you know, to make it larger is just, to me, is crazy. And so that brings me to my next point. We've got a new pipe, which no one in the state of Kentucky that I know of has it. And so where I work, which is Louisville Wind Air, we're the first one in Louisville, Kentucky to carry this, and it's kind of trickling in, but I wanted to show it to you. Because what they're doing, they're also going to make the contractors do a leak test, an air leakage test, because they don't, everything's got to be sealed. So you have to, if they're doing new construction, they have to seal the pipe or the duct with mastic and then tape over the seam. And the pipe that we're able to sell now already has a kind of a mastic sealant in it. So once you snap it together, it's going to seal, and you will not have to tape that seam. And I want you to kind of get a close-up of this. If you can see, there's a little bit of red in there. Can you see that? Okay. So, and then the next thing, even on the pipe, it says sealed. So when an inspector sees that, they're going to know that it's sealed. And our duct's going to come like that also, you know, so that's going to leave a 4-foot joint that you don't have to put the mastic on, which is expensive, and you're not going to have to, you know, to tape it, and the, you know, the inspectors are going to know automatically that that, you know, is sealed, and, you know, it's going to be a savings, number one, to the contractor, and a savings to the consumer, and the cost of this pipe is not going to go up, and that's the kind of the luxury of it too. We don't have to increase our price on it. So, but that's the way this is going, and our duct is, and I think it's fantastic. So, any of you local contractors, I know your wholesaler's not carrying it, so you actually need to give me a call. Little plug for myself. I need the sales. So, anyway, I'm going to wrap it up there. Just wanted to kind of give you a little briefing on that. And if y'all have any questions as far as local guys, you know how to get a hold of me, or you can hit me up on YouTube. And so I'm the one that's being educated on all this, and that's my job to pass it on to you guys. So thanks for viewing, and I'll see you soon.